welcome to the Linked Life podcast. I'm your host, Christal Anderson, and on this podcast, we discuss how to level up your life by leveling up your network. And we do this by becoming what I call a high value connection. What does this mean? It means that no matter who you come in contact with, you add value to their lives. Not value in terms of money or connections, but in terms of making the person feel better than when you first met them. And in this couple of podcast episodes, we are talking about how to become a high value leader. And today we have Richard, who has agreed to join us. And I'm going to read a little bit about him, and then we're going to get right into the podcast. Richard Miramontes, I hope I said that correctly, is a partner with Murphy, and Murphy, Inc. He graduated from California State University of Fullerton in 2009 with a Bachelor's of Arts degree in Business Administration with an emphasis in accounting, and right out of college, he began working at Murphy, and Murphy. In his first 10 years with the company, he was promoted from intern to equity partner of the firm and has been a partner for the last 5 years. During his career at MMM, he became a licensed CPA in 2013. He's practiced several areas of accounting, such as individual taxation, business taxation, financial statement reviews and compilation, and business advisory services. He enjoys all aspects of the business and creating relationships with his clients that allow them to grow professionally together. As a partner, he also participates in running different parts of the firm. This is where he finds joy in creating opportunities for professionals to advance while being part of their developmental growth, both professionally and personally. In his personal life, he stays active and feeds his competitive nature by playing multiple sports such as soccer, football, softball, hockey, and off-road racing. Okay. In 2022, he participated in his first race in Mexico that spanned 250 miles from, okay, I'm going to destroy this, Ensenada to San Felipe. He is currently on the injured reserve list with a torn Achilles. Oh, wow. He plans to return to all his sporting activities and race longer races in Mexico. He enjoys meeting people and growing his social network. This has complemented his business life and has given him the opportunity to try new things through these connections. He also enjoys learning different crafts, especially those that allow him to work with his hands and use his creativity to build something tangible. As a single man, he's enjoying spending time with his family and close friends, but he's looking to start his own family in the near future. Okay, all the single ladies, check out Richard. All right, so that's great. You said that you've been working at Murphy, and Murphy for the last 10 years.
15.
15. Okay, so it's 10 years, and then the last 5 years you've been a partner. Okay. Right. So how would you describe the culture of Murphy, and Murphy when you first got it?
Well, it's a very unique culture, and it's not your typical accounting firm. When you think accounting, you think about all these math people.
Right.
We have plenty of those, and we are all math people, but our culture feeds the creative side and the relationship side of things. So both we get to have fun preparing returns and doing financial statement analysis, but we also maintain an environment of friendship and support, creating deeper roots with our employees and our clients as well. So it's really family oriented, especially since our original founders were twin brothers that originated from a family of 14 kids.
Whoa. So, didn't see that coming.
So it kind of fed in to the business life. So they took everything they learned at home, got great experience in the industry, working for big accounting firms, and then started their own practice and just brought that family vibe into the office. And we still have that to this day.
Yeah, so let me just explain to you guys how I found Richard, right? So my cousin, Natasha, shout out to you. She works at Murphy, and Murphy, and I follow her on Instagram, and homegirl is always posting stories where they're dressed up as tacos, or what was it? Some of the themes you guys had, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates, Anna's Family, Shrek, Beach Day, just anything, Olympics, anything that is fun to dress up for or has a competitive nature as well. So
Right. So they're in the office crunching numbers dressed up as hot dogs and
yeah,
pirates.
we do
And
that.
it just, yeah, and it seems as if you can tell, right, based on your stories, that you guys are more than just coworkers. It
Yeah.
seems like you guys have really built a strong community. So Richard, as a partner, as a leader, what are some ways that you have been intentional about building such a strong sense of community within your the people that you manage?
Well, we take the additional time to really ask all the professionals here what are their both career and personal goals, right?
Mm.
We want to support them in advancing to their next level in their professional life, but that has to have a balance with their personal life. If they're unbalanced at home, they can be unbalanced at work. If they're unbalanced at work, they can be unbalanced at home. So we try to balance the two and support them as much as possible by asking, hey, I understand you have a career goal. You want to become a senior accountant, a manager, possibly a partner one day.
Mm-hmm.
But what are your personal goals? A family, travel, anything? And that's kind of how Natasha and I became a little closer, working a little bit more directly together. We found out we had common interests, by
Mm.
talking about our personal life together. And we now enjoy some trips that we go on. She's been on my annual snowboarding trip
Oh,
on
nice.
my
Natasha, I
birthday.
didn't know you snowboard.
She hasn't hit the slopes, but she goes and encourages us to go down
Okay.
the hill faster so we can meet back at the bottom. But I'll get on
Got
a
you.
snowboard soon.
Okay.
Definitely really
Mhm.
digging deeper than more than just the business side of things.
Okay. And how do you feel that these dressing up events, and well, first tell us, because you said two things. You said that you guys dress up, but you said there's also a competitive aspect to it. So in terms of the dressing up, we'll get into the competitive aspect after. But in terms of like the theme days and everyone come to work dressed up and looking silly, what do you feel is the purpose behind that?
It has two parts. One, the tax season is very heavy on the professionals.
Mm.
We work 60 plus hours a week. We're inside the office multiple hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's running around, working together, trying to meet deadlines, meet client expectations, and taking an hour and a half a week, I'm sorry, to dress up and have some fun. Just kind of lets you de-stress a little bit.
Okay.
And second, while we do that, we want to do it together, right?
Okay.
It's not, hey, go take a lunch break. Lunch break, you go on your own. No, say, hey, we're going to take a lunch break. Each team's going to host once a week, and they
Mm-hmm.
host the theme, they host all the decorations and the game, and we all come together, get out of our office. Nobody's booked at that time for client service.
Oh
Everybody's
wow.
allowed to get out of their office, go to
Mm-hmm.
the conference room, and take a break and enjoy each other's company. You might sit next to somebody who you haven't sat next to. You get to talk, get to know each other a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Your costume is a point of conversation. Some people
Okay.
like to do team up on costumes sometimes.
Okay.
You know, um, it just adds the creativity to there. But it really lets us get out of our office and come together in the conference room at least once a week. We have other events throughout the week that do that as well.
Okay. Okay. That's awesome. And could you explain the competitive nature of things? I saw one time that you guys did, was it the basketball league?
We've done a couple different leagues.
Mm-hmm.
We've had soccer. We we have a football league going on right now. But even every Thursday when we do the dress up and we call them pod lunches, um, we there's a game involved, and the game will put pods against pods. Those are teams within our office. It'll put the accountants against the senior accountants,
Mm-hmm.
against the managers, against the partners and interns. So everybody's involved. I guess the twin brothers, Mike and Pat Murphy, always had this little competitive nature. They're twins for,
Okay. Yeah.
and then just we use the competition to strive for goals, set revenue goals, team goals, and then just it gives you bragging rights for a week. So you win
Mm.
this week, you get bragging rights, and then you come back next week trying to beat the other team again. in a different game. Nobody knows the game until the day of, except those who are hosting. So it really makes it fun. And then we have other little side games that we do. So the firm is pretty competitive in a friendly nature.
Right. No one's going to draw blood.
Yeah. Well, there's been some competitions that that get pretty competitive. But it's always in good fun. At the end, everybody hugs, at least for the next day or something.
Yeah. Because I see my cousin play some family games, and I know that sometimes
she is, I would rate her in the top, 5 of the competitive people in the office.
Yeah, she definitely
does not like to lose. She does not like to lose.
Very competitive spirit, which I appreciate. It. Okay, that sounds awesome. And do you feel, in terms of, you said that you guys only do this for an hour and a half a week. Mm-hmm. How do you feel? Have you seen a difference in productivity? And I don't know when you guys started this, but sometimes it seems like, man, they look like they're having a lot of fun, and they actually like, are they doing my taxes?
Well, I think like many things on social media, we only post the fun.
Right.
Out of the 12 to 14 hours we're in the office, mm-hmm. The 30 seconds you get to see on social media is when we're having fun, and we can pull out our phones and mm-hmm. and laugh with each other. It definitely, when you're laughing with everybody, it gives you this other energy, and you're able to go back to work and do another 4 hours, even though it's 10 o'clock at night. And you just get this other endorphin of just joy, and it lets you work. And the next days we're talking about it, so.
Yeah. Is there, are there people in your office who are more introverted?
Yeah.
And how do they, I guess, fit into this? Because it seems, like there's some people who are just like, we doing what? With who?
Exactly.
With everyone?
In our interview process, we are definitely filtering for those who would fit in with our culture, so. Okay. We're not only asking academic questions, technical questions. Mm-hmm. We're asking personal questions to the extent of an interview about, what do they enjoy? What are they comfortable doing to mm-hmm. make sure that when they step into Murphy, everybody's going to get a little bit of a culture shock, but that they're going to be able to find their
adjust without.
But we've found incredible talent that, is a little bit more introverted mm-hmm. or very. And we've been able to get them out of that shell,
nice.
Just inviting them to be part of the game, inviting them to participate, and cheering for them while they participate. They get the same joy that, an extrovert would get. Yeah. Now, when they go back to their office, they're a little, or after they're done playing the game, they are a little bit more stressed, but we've broken down those walls slightly, and to their comfort level as well.
Okay. And I know that you had mentioned before that, you kind of feel as if your personal life and your workplace life have to be in balance. But what are some other reasons why building a community in the workplace is so important?
Well, there's many times where, even though we laugh and enjoy each other's company, the majority of the time there are going to be tense moments where unintentionally an error is made during a job or something, and we have to go through that difficult situation, creating an environment where you're comfortable with each other, where both of you are striving for the same success, both personally and professionally, allows you to have those conversations a lot easier. Even Natasha and I have some difficult conversations over the years, that have stemmed from, hurting each other's feelings unintentionally. But how often do you talk about your feelings at work?
Right.
We open that door to talk about those moments where I unintentionally maybe made her feel bad by comments I made. It could have been in an appointment with a client, could have been with a meeting amongst her peers. But if she wasn't comfortable to have that conversation, I wouldn't be able to rectify the issue. So the sooner we can get beyond those moments and build that relationship of trust with each other, the happier we're going to be, the more success we're going to have, both in in our careers and growing the company,
Mm-hmm.
and in going home with balance, and not taking that stress home.
Yeah, that's good. And as a leader, how do you have those difficult conversations with employees?
Well, they typically start with building connection first.
Mm-hmm.
I don't come in, or I try not to come in aggressive and
Mm-hmm.
upset. You calm yourself down, and then you start the conversation talking about your common goals, um, showing them that first you care about them, and
Mm-hmm.
then understanding that with the situation that we just went through, how do we get beyond it? So never come in hard. I have done it in the past. I'll tell you, I'm unsuccessful in getting my
Right.
message across. But when we're able to have a real conversation about why we care and then what the issue is, we're able to get through it a lot quicker.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And
not
how do
easy.
you, yeah, you said it's not easy.
No, it's not easy.
Mm.
Yeah.
And how have you been able to build that trust um, within the team? At least from you as like a leader perspective, how have you been able to come to the place where you know that those who work for you are comfortable enough to come up to you and be like, "Listen, the way you spoke to me, I was like,
Yeah. Well, that's where the non-billable hours come in, where it doesn't seem like it's growing the company directly by creating more revenue or
mm-hmm,
being out there practice developing. It's spending time with each other, creating relationship. So
mm-hmm,
it looks at many different forms. What we require of our employees is that every morning that they get here, they walk around the entire office and say good morning to everybody.
oh wow,
You're not allowed to go straight to your desk. If you do go straight to your desk, somebody will say, "Hey, I didn't see you
mm-hmm,
say good morning today." And if they're reminded too many times, well, we have a different conversation. But everybody says good morning. Everybody says goodbye. Like that, the last person who is here knows they're the last person. And instead of leaving by themselves, they can leave together, right?
oh
And not be
wow,
left alone. So we do a lot of investment into relationships that
mm-hmm,
doesn't always seem like it's growing the company directly, because
yeah,
it doesn't create another dollar of revenue. It
mm-hmm,
doesn't necessarily bring in a client through the door, but it helps build a bond amongst the employees. So other things we do, Natasha comes in my office and open door policy, sit down, let's have a conversation. Um, we've had to build some protocols there. If I'm busy, she
yeah,
does. I will ask her, do you need my full attention or can I multitask?
right,
And that's her giving me permission to listen and work at the same time.
mm-hmm,
Or sometimes she has the ability to tell me, hey, I really need you just one-on-one attention
mm-hmm,
right now. I need to talk to you. uh,
mm-hmm,
but over the years we learned this, where through frustration she was like, you don't give me time. It's like,
mm-hmm.
so I learned to ask permission to work and listen, or do I really need just to give you my full attention? And if you need my full attention, I'm here to give it to you. So
Oh wow. And how do you feel as a leader you establish, I guess, kind of like boundaries, like you were saying, like you have an open door policy, but is there times where you're like, okay, I really need, close the door, focus, get work done? How do you establish that as a leader as well?
same conversations, when in the team meetings, we talk about our calendars, and
Mm-hmm.
we talk about, hey, I have a busy day today. I'm not going to be able to, do these other things, but I'm willing to stay later for you. You find a
Mm-hmm.
compromise in, hey, I'm going to get the work done because we're meeting a deadline, but we can find a middle ground and say, hey, if you're willing to stay an hour after work, I'm willing to stay on our personal time because I'm invested in you. So,
Oh wow, that's different.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
different.
it's
I
different.
know for
And
me, it's like, listen, I'm out at 5, so.
yeah, it's fine. I'm clocking out. I'm out. And
I,
I see it everywhere in the office, and it's not always through a conversation, but you see people walking out of the office and they're outside talking. They're
mm,
outside the building talking by their cars, and you just know they're building relationship. They might be talking about work or they might be talking about personal, but at least they're in relationship.
right, right. And I also saw through Natasha's social media again um, that you guys serve together. You guys do a lot of community service. Can you explain or tell us some of the activities that you've done to serve the community as a team?
Oh wow, there's been many there. That we've done over the years. We do once a year, so twice a year we take kind of like a company ditch day. We close the entire company and take the employees out somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
One of those is team building, bonding activities. Like we played in the park, we played a whole bunch of
Mm-hmm.
games at the park, relay races and everything, and we take our company picture. The second one is a charity event that we do for different charities, typically local ones around here. We've gone to parks and painted the park, helped paint the park, helped clean. We've gone to the Orange County Rescue Mission, which is a transition home, and packaged food supplies, folded clothes, cleaned rooms, helped with the babies, anything that is necessary. Our group keeps growing, so there's it's very hard to find charities that can host such a big group.
Mm-hmm.
But we're out there looking, and whoever needs help, we're happy to help the local community. We've raised funds for schools and supplies for schools. We made that into a competition of which
Of
team can
course.
bring the most. Beach cleanups, many different things. Every year, we got a committee who helps us find a service that we can provide to the community or some supplies or something. We like to do it hands on. We could raise money, but it's not the
Right.
same as being there in person, showing
Mm-hmm.
our employees that we're not only here to make money, we're here to serve the community and give back. Because we're fortunate that our company has grown. We're fortunate that we're able to pay the salaries that we pay,
Mm-hmm.
and for that, we also want to show them, hey, there's money to be made, but there's other people who are in need that can use our help. Again, stemming from the Murphy family, where 14 kids, they weren't super well off families that had everything. They were 14 kids that had to figure out how to share and give to each other.
Right. And I guess that was my next question is why do you feel like, besides, that being the culture of the founding brothers, why do you feel as if service is an important part of the company culture?
It definitely gives you the understanding that people are going to come from different walks of life. Our
Mm-hmm.
clients come from different walks of life. We're
Mm-hmm.
going to encounter clients who, run successful businesses, and we're going to encounter clients who may be having a very tough year. And you have to take yourself out of your shoes, out of your position in that day where you're working hard and really just understand the other people. And I think serving the community really helps you see that other people may be struggling as well. That you're actually better than what you think, because there's people who have it a little bit more difficult or a lot more difficult. And just giving that to the community gives you first a sense of joy, right? That you're helping, but then the understanding of their position really helps you take that home. And again, it like I mentioned, it helps us in our business understanding clients. But when you go home and you have your family, you might look at that a little differently, cherish them a little bit more.
Mm. That's good. That's good. How would you say that developing relationships has helped you personally in terms of your career path? You said that you were here for 10 years and then you became a partner after the 10 years. That seems pretty quick, right? Like, I don't know if
I
that's
believe,
typical.
yeah. From what people told me, this is the only real career job I've had. I've worked at Bank of America. I've worked
Mm-hmm.
at Speed Zone, high school and college.
Right.
Uh, so this is really the only thing I know as far as
Mm-hmm.
accounting firms. And when I compare it to the career paths of friends and other people that I know in my community at other accounting firms, it is
Mm-hmm.
fairly quick to become partner.
Right.
And I tell everybody, it was 50% hard work, 50% luck, opportunities of doors opening, and being
Mm-hmm.
ready to walk through that door when it did.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think I had a good connection with the partners, of them understanding that I came from a hardworking family, that I understood their mission in life was not only to grow the company, but was also to give back, because I participated in like all our employees do when we go to these events. They're all participating. There's nobody who's just sitting there trying to take a free day. They all want to give back. And I think just by living the lifestyle that I do, help me promote faster through the company at those times.
Okay, that's good. Would you say that your culture is a big part of why clients choose you, or have your clients ever seen the culture of the company and been like, I want to work with you guys because I really like the way that you all treat each other? It seems like a good environment. Has that ever been a conversation that you've been a part of?
I feel that's one of the highest reasons that they do enjoy
Mm-hmm.
working with us. Besides the fact that we provide excellent technical service, we
Mm-hmm.
got very, very intelligent accountants here. Some who have been in the industry for 40 years, and then young professionals who are thriving to learn more and do more for their clients. When they call in or when they show up to the office, I think they feel it through the conversations we have, that we ask questions that are not only related to the tax return, to the financial statement. We ask questions that are related to their personal life, and we show an interest in their personal well-being, right? And even through the phone, I think they can feel it. We always invite our clients to come in person. It's a different feeling here. When you walk in, you're more than welcome to come by and see our office, and you know uh, see the services we provide, but also the relationships. All our clients say they feel it as soon as they walk in. We decorate our lobby, so it's apparent from the moment you walk in. But even over the phone or over Zoom, clients can tell that we care more than just about providing the service. We care about them as well.
Oh, wow. That's good. In terms of the way that you guys build community, was that something that the Murphy brothers established, or have you been instrumental in coming up with a lot of the activities that uh, the employees participate in?
It 100% came from them.
Okay.
They literally brought their household into the office and said, "We used to do this," and they had so much fun doing it, and
Hmm.
it brought them together. They definitely did that. I think I helped maintain it as my partners. Um,
Hmm.
they're getting close to retirement. They're about twice my age,
Oh,
and
wow.
so they're a little bit more distant from the newer generations.
Hmm.
And that's where I kind of bring the perspective to the younger professionals as to why we do these things and help
Hmm.
maintain the culture and evolve it as well. Our culture did have to evolve, for younger professionals, for professionals who have a different perspective on life because of the different experiences they're going through,
Hmm.
compared to my senior partners.
Okay. So, I mean, you seem pretty young. And I know like millennials are notorious for not staying long at their job. It's like one thing we're like, we don't need this, we out, bye. Um, have you seen like, is there a rotating door, as people call it, within your job, or do you feel like a lot of people, when they come in, they stay for longer periods of time as opposed to like, no, I'm good. I'll
Yeah.
find another
Well,
job.
I pride myself in being a borderline millennial.
Okay.
So I believe I understand that now. The company has grown, and definitely with growth, you experience more turnover.
Hmm.
But I always feel the professionals who leave are not because they don't enjoy the company, the culture. It's they have an opportunity elsewhere that we want to support them. That it's going to help them reach their goals, either faster, professionally or personally.
Okay.
We've had professionals who decided to start their family, and a different job position with another firm suits
Hmm.
that better than what we could do. And others who's had an opportunity to get a fast track at another firm, and we support that as well. We try to keep them as much as possible,
Hmm.
because we've invested so much time in training, and in their personal life as well. So we try to keep them, but sometimes the cards don't fall in place, and
Yeah.
we have to say goodbye respectfully.
Okay. Okay. That's good. And how, in terms of reward and I'm not gonna say punishment, but how do you reward employees that go above and beyond and do really well? What are some things that you have personally done to make them feel like good job?
Yeah, we definitely try to show them their career path first, showing them that through their effort they can move forward. There is opportunity
Hmm.
to grow, which in long terms is going to meet their goals.
Hmm.
Right, saying, hey, you want to be making a certain level of income, we can get you there. And I've seen the progress in their professional side
Hmm.
and the growth, so we try to move them quicker and show
Okay.
them the opportunity there. We do a lot of fun things. We provide we provide lunch for free every day. We
Oh,
provide
nice.
dinners when they have to work late during tax season. There's dinners provided. So there's a lot of small perks throughout
Right.
the year that we provide, the ditch days and everything.
Hmm.
But even on the one-on-one, it's going to be the acknowledgments. So we provide an environment on those Thursday meetings. We have an all firm meeting where you have the opportunity to walk up in front of the entire company and acknowledge one of your peers, anybody within the firm, and we felt that has the biggest impact. You
Mm.
know, we do some monetary things here and there.
Right.
It's great, but the monetary things kind of come and go. You kind of forget it. You spend the money and it's gone. The
Hmm.
feeling you walk out of with from the meeting is something you're going to carry on for the rest of your day, maybe even the rest of your life.
Yeah.
When somebody acknowledged the effort you put in or the contribution you made to their lives. So, uh, and we really emphasize that it's a one-on-one acknowledgement. So you're speaking to the person, you're not speaking about the person, but you're
Hmm.
doing it in front of everybody, so everybody gets to see the impact you had on somebody else's life.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
and it could be from the smallest things. You don't have to be doing this grand you saved me from a fire. It could be,
Right.
hey, you saw me struggling carrying stuff out of my car and you lend me a hand because I was running late for my appointment. I don't think you realize how you helped me service the client. So from our receptionist taking a call from a client during the busy season, we acknowledge them. You know, uh, and doing it in front of the others is what I find special, because even though people have stage fright of
Hmm.
getting up there and talking, um, when I'm able to notice that other employees are really having an impact on our culture and our firm,
Hmm.
really allows me to step out of my bubble of work and see, hey, well, they're doing something. And I tell everybody, you want somebody to get promoted, acknowledge them up front, because I can see everything they do technically, but I don't always get to see their day to day. So
That's good. That's good. And what about when someone falls short? Not talking about regular mistakes, like, everyone makes mistakes, but let's say they're consistently not showing up, they're not putting their best foot forward. And, how do you handle that situation as a manager?
the just having that opportunity and creating that environment to have the difficult conversations.
Mm.
Like you said, you're not necessarily in trouble, but we have to have a conversation of
Hmm.
the habits that I'm noticing, and how those impact either the client service or our relationship. Right. To go even deeper, it may be impacting the client service of, hey, the project's not getting out on time, and we need to talk about it and maybe find a plan to improve. Right.
Mm.
That's measurable. If you give somebody who's something that's measurable, they're more likely to reach that goal. So we do that, but you may also be affecting the relationship. I run into those situations where people keep showing up late to meetings, and for me, that's a frustration.
Right.
I find it as it could seem disrespectful of my time,
Right.
and if I just stay frustrated with myself or within myself, I'm
Hmm.
carrying that for the entire day, maybe the entire week. But if I have that conversation with the professional who has this habit, they have an opportunity to change it and show me that they care about how I feel. So I say, hey, are we ready to have a conversation? Are you open to having a conversation? I've noticed nothing, try not to attack and just say, hey, I've noticed you've been showing up late. And when you do that, I feel disrespected. I really talk about how I'm feeling at that moment, not about judgments.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that's interesting. One thing that I've been learning, I guess personally as well, is that healthy relationships live in uncomfortable conversations. And until you're willing to have those, you can't really have a healthy relationship.
You can't. No.
Yeah. So it's interesting that it also, goes into the workplace as well. I never really thought about it like that. That's good.
Right. That's where, I've said we have to focus both on their personal and professional lives.
Right.
Because if they have that unhealthy relationship, even through building the skill through work, you can take that home and apply it.
Yeah.
And I learned that every month I go to 8-hour coaching classes of professional and personal development, talk about those tough conversations, maybe take some tools away with me to learn how to deal with them. And I come to the office and apply them. And when I can, teach them to others.
Right.
In hopes that they take them home and build stronger, healthier relationships with their significant others.
Okay. One, in terms of these personal development courses that you take, or I don't know what it is, courses, is that something that you do for yourself, or is it something that's mandated?
When I became a partner, one of my senior partners, Pat Murphy, gave me the opportunity, since he had been doing this for several years. He gave me the opportunity, and at first I was like, no, I don't need that. I'm a partner now.
Right. I've made it. I've arrived.
I made it. But after a year in a very difficult position of partner, not only dealing with the workload, the client service, running the company, the relationships, you're no longer just managing clients, you're managing people. And so I said, okay, well, let me try it. And I've been in it for going on my 4th year now. And every time I go, I said, I got to go to this again. And then every time I walk out, I say, I'm glad I came.
Right. That's good.
It's given me plenty of tools. Also listening to different books on, I don't read much, but I listen to books.
Right.
I found some very useful books that have helped me build the skills to have the conversation and understanding why I should have that conversation. Because most problems happen because you didn't have the conversation. As you mentioned, in your healthy relationships, you're constantly having the conversation, the uncomfortable conversation.
Yeah.
And when it's unhealthy, it's because you're not having the difficult conversation there. So
absolutely. And what are some of, I guess, the most impactful books that you've read about?
I have a couple. The Fierce Conversations was a really good one. It's rather long, but a lot of understanding of why you should have that conversation and how to show up to that conversation. And then the second one was I don't have to make everything all better. That was another one where it helped me understand that I don't have to solve everybody's problems. I just have to be there for them. Which, when you feel like you've been through it and when you feel like your success, you feel like you can solve anything and solve everybody's problems.
Right.
It's not always your responsibility to solve their problems. You're better used by being there and listening, being that shoulder to cry on if they need to.
Right.
Very difficult for me, but but definitely just listening to them so they can vent, they can have their moment, and they can come out stronger from that conversation.
That's good. All right, Richard. Well, thank you so much for doing the podcast with me. Before we leave, I'm going to ask you 3 questions I usually ask all my guests. So the first one is, Tell me about a simple action that someone did that had a positive impact on you.
Positive impact on me. When I was in high school, my friend's brother offered to pick me up. And when I would get out of practice late, he was always willing to go give me a ride. When my parents couldn't pick me up, I didn't have the opportunity, and I didn't have to walk hours home, he would come pick me up. And he never made me feel like I was a burden on him.
Oh.
He is now my godfather for confirmation. And I still have a strong relationship with him.
Nice.
But it just showed me that I wasn't alone at that time.
That's good. That's good. All right. In 3 words or less, can you tell me what are qualities of a good friend?
Qualities of a good friend would have to be loving, patience,
Okay,
and understanding.
Okay. It's good. All right. And this is where some people get in trouble. So,
Okay.
But it said if you could give flowers or shout out one person for being a great member of your tribe in this moment. I know it's hard to pick just one, but is there someone who's standing out for you right now who you would like to give their flowers to?
Right now, it has to be my dad. I've been thinking about him a lot, and just thinking about how much he's contributed to my life overall. And I don't think he understands how much my success has contributed to him. I think I need to have that conversation with him one-on-one, and maybe even give him some real flowers and be there with him. But I have been looking to spend more time with him too. I really want to show him the impact that he's had on my success, that it wasn't just me on my own, but it's what he taught me as a child, that drive, and all the little lessons along the way.
Oh, you trying to make me cry?
Okay. We can't start crying right now.
I know, right now. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining. I hope that you guys were really impacted by this wonderful conversation with Richard. Don't forget to make someone smile. All right, see you guys later. Bye.
Thanks.